Right, the recording has started. So semi-supine, which as you know by now is lying on your back, shoulders wide and relaxed, pelvis nice and level, possibly a little bit of a gap under your lower back between your ribs and the top of your pelvis. Feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. And for the moment, just take a moment to close your eyes and start to breathe wide and full into the back and sides of your ribs, and allow your body to feel nice and relaxed. If you feel your chin is pointing to the ceiling, just take your head in your hands, extend your neck so you find a nice double chin and you have some lovely length along the back of your spine, the cervical spine into the head. And from there you can take your arms out to the side into a T shape, palms facing the ceiling. And again, take a couple of breaths nice and deeply in this position. And then cross the arms over your body, giving yourself a hug, reaching your fingers for each side of the mat as far as they will go. So we're starting to stretch through the shoulder and the arm a little bit. And again, open out into a T. And each time, just allow the backs of the shoulders to relax into the mat, crossing over, hugging the body, reaching fingertips to the mat, either side. And again, opening out into a T. And as you cross your arms, bring them over towards your chest a little bit more so they're not too high up towards the shoulders, really depending how large one is at the front, getting a bit of extra stretch. And opening out to the side. 2 lovely deep breaths and one more big hug. Really reach the fingers towards the mat. Nice big breath. And then open up and arms just loosely by your side. And from here, we will start working on our pelvis. So simply, you can put your fingers on your ACIS bones, the little pointy bones at the front, and you want to send them away from you ever so slightly. And then as you draw your tummy into the body, you're softening the lower back into the mat. So simply, tiny little pelvic tilts each way. So nothing very quick, nothing very big, but getting as much movement as is possible for each of us through that very lower lumbar spine. And trying to keep it under control. So the shoulders relaxed, the knees not moving too much. You can use your breath. I like to breathe out as my back softens into the mat. And breathe in. You get a little arch through the lower spine. But all the time, remember you're keeping your abdominals engaged. So you're breathing through that abdominal connection, a little bit of tension through the front of the pelvis. Just a couple more. And then we'll take it from side to side. So again, keeping the knees as relaxed as you can and without moving. You're dropping one hip towards the mat and it'll be tiny, tiny movement. And then back to center and then drop the other side. So one bottom cheek does slightly lift off the mat, but not very far if at all. And again, keeping the chins nodded, shoulders relaxed. Breathing as deeply and as widely as you possibly can. Obviously, normally I say in through the nose and out through the mouth, but if your sinuses are blocked, just breathe. And think about the breath coming up through the head and down into the body. One more each side. And we'll take all of that into a little clock circle motion. So starting with tilting the pelvis away from you, then dropping down to one hip to one side, circling round. And again, nice and slowly back to having the pelvis tilted away from you, and reverse the direction. So we soften the back into the mat. We arch it up a little way after we've been to the side. And just continue with those little clock circles through the pelvis, warming up, breathing, enjoying being in control of these tiny micro movements. One more in each direction. And then come back to the neutral position when you've finished. So nice and engaged through the abs, tiny little arch through the back. If you're happy through the shoulders and it's not too uncomfortable, sort of chicken wings. So arms up and back. If not, just leave them by your side. We'll do our pelvic tilts in this position because I want to really stretch out the front of the chest. So make sure your neck is nice and long, and then breathing out, tummy button to spine, just to soften the lower back into the mat a little bit more than we've just done. And breathing in to come to the start. And you might want to feel a little bit stronger through the feet. So pressing them into the mat will help anchor you and get the lower back moving a little bit more. So breathing out, tummy button to spine. This time just hover the bottom off the floor as you breathe in. Breathing out, placing it down. And obviously a little breath in to prepare for your next one. Just hovering off. That's beautifully nice and slow. Coming up to lower ribs. Keeping the pubic bone curled towards you. Breath in to hold, breathing out, peeling down. And again, one more at lower ribs. So we're really finding control through our bodies. Mobilizing each part of the spine, and then up to bra strap level, breathing out, curling up, keeping the pubic bone curled towards you. As you breathe in, hold it there, and then breathe out, bring your arms up and over your chest. So you're doing a little pec press, breathing in to open, and then curling back down on your out breath as you soften through the front of the body, placing the spine back down to the start neutral position. And again, breathing out. Feeling your feet heavy in the floor, curling the pubic bone towards you, just to bra strap level. Breath in to hold, then breath out, pressing the arms and the elbows towards each other. Breathing in to open. Breathing out, softening through the chest, upper back, middle back, lower back. Extending back to neutral. One more. Breathing out. Curling up. Keeping that curve in your back as you hold it there and breathe in, and breathing out, pressing the arms with some strength towards each other, stretching out as they open on the in-breath, and then breathing out, softening. Really sink the body through to the mat beyond you. Lovely. And then release the arms, give them a little shake if they feel a bit dodgy, bring them up to the ceiling, and we will work on the arms and legs separately to start with for arm and leg slides. So allow the arms to be really heavy in the shoulders, and the shoulders, back of the shoulders on the mat. And then, yes, just extend one arm behind you and one forward, and keep those ribs engaged so they don't pop up. So you see, I keep my promises. We've been lovely and gentle today. Just focusing on one thing at a time to start with. So you can really work on the technique and placement. So keeping the back of the shoulder blades on the mat as much as you can. Your arm may or may not reach the floor behind you. I want you to be in control of it. So if it doesn't, don't worry. Just take it as far as it will go. And keep breathing. Nice and slow and controlled. And the arms should be straight. My left one always wants to bend, so it's a constant battle. But it's just being aware of what your body's doing. One more on each side. That's it, keeping those ribs down. And then arms by your side, and we'll move on to legs. So simply extend one leg away. And when it's extended, you can flex the foot, send the heel away from you, point it again, and draw it back up. And then change sides. So extend the leg, really stretch it away, flex the foot so the heel's really reaching away, point it again, and draw it up. So depending how your leg's feeling, you might feel a little bit of cramp through the calf. And on the changeover, you want to try and keep your knees as stable as possible. So really mobilizing, getting the joints to move under our control. While stretching as well. One more in each leg. And we'll do arm and legs together. So bring your arms back to the ceiling, palms facing away, and standard extending one arm and leg. Tummy button to spine as you breathe out to come back to the start. And again. So you'll know this is exactly the same as we do with the dog on our hands and knees. And that changeover point, we're trying to keep everything as stable as possible. So there will be some movement, but we're trying to get those arm and legs to move independently. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, keeping the ribs down, keeping the abdominals engaged. That's it, Maria, lovely. I saw that. Good. More on each side. And then finish with your knees bent up and your arms facing back to the ceiling, palms facing away from you. So want them very heavy in the shoulders. And I want you to imagine that your chest and your shoulders don't move other than together, because we're going to curl up. So as we breathe out, the arms will press down, your chin will nod, your ribs will slide forward because your chest has to come up because your shoulders come up. And then breathing in to return to the mat. So breathing out, press down with the arms, nodding the chin, curling forward. And then breathing in to come back to the mat. That's it. So I want to make sure your pelvis isn't moving. It's just your upper body. It might not come up very far. That's it. Lovely. That's much better. Good. So breathing out, curling or pressing forward with the arms, curling up just to there, Elaine. Don't have to come any higher than that. And back down. Good. Drawing the tummy into the body every time we breathe out and curl forward. It's very easy just to press everything upwards, but you want to suck everything in. That will give you space for those ribs to slide and will make those muscles strong inside your body to keep your spine safe. That's it. 2 more. And then this time, as we breathe out, we will hold it there and do the 100. So if you want some extra challenges, you can take your legs up or extend away. But we're going to beat and breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In. Out. So beating from our armpits, keeping our tummy nailing to the mat beyond. Trying to keep the body as stable as you can. That's it. If it is hurting your neck, keep your chin nodded, hand behind the head. Couple more. That's it, Jeanette. Shoulders wide and relaxed. Easier said than done. Lovely, Jackie. And in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then hug your knees back. Breathe, have a little rock from side to side. That was looking very good. So depending how you're feeling today, we can try a little rolling like a ball. So just roll over onto your side, come up to sitting at the front of your mat. Make sure you've got nothing to whack your head on behind. If you don't want to roll, just find your balance point and do a few little rocks forward and back. If you do want to roll, you keep your feet where they start curling forward, so you get a little arch in your back and roll back to your shoulders and come up to that balance point. And again, you're trying to do it as slowly as possible. You're keeping in that ball shape. That's it, Maria. Yeah, don't do it if it's hurting your back. Just find a balance point and hover. That's it, Jeanette. Cramp at the front, Jackie. Oh no. That's it, Jeanette. Yes, Elaine, brilliant. Just a couple more of whatever you're doing. Watch your head, Jackie. So it can be a beautiful massage if it's feeling right. Lovely. Then relax. We will come back down to the mat. Choices, you can either keep your feet on the floor, have our arms nice and wide, and we will hip roll. So we're taking knees over to one side, keeping them in line as we breathe in, breathing out, draw them back to the center using your abdominals. If you want more of a challenge, up in tabletop or even extended. Depends how your back is today. But simply breathing over, keeping the shoulders on the mat, breathing out. Really draw them back to the start with your abs. So breathing into roll And again, don't go too far, because even if you're feeling very flexible, I want you to keep those knees in line with each other. So if one is sliding over the other or away from the other, don't go beyond the point that you can keep them together. That's it. And if legs are up, make sure that your back is on the mat, and then you can take your knees a little bit further away from you up to the point that you're feeling that little bit of strength that you have to hold it there through the abdominals. Breathing in to turn to the side, breathing out to center. That's it. Good. So we're getting some nice stretch, getting some control through the oblique muscles around the sides of your body. One more on each side. After your last one, feet on the ground if they're in the air, and we'll start to work on our sides. So we'll do our nice double leg lift. So find the uncomfortable point of balance on your hip. Make sure you can see your feet out of the corner of your eye, and either have a hand in front for balance or behind or along the side of your body, however you're feeling today. Underneath arm is drawing down the body, so your shoulders are stacked over each other, hips are stacked, and breathing out, hover and lift, breathing in to return. So we're thinking the underneath waist is drawing away from the mat to keep all our core strong. And if you feel any tension in your neck, just make sure you're looking towards the mat as you lift and lower your head. But again, if it's too much today, just lift the legs. Keep the head down. Breathing out to lift. And breathing in to lower. Good. That's it, Elaine. Lovely. Nice, Jeanette. Good, Jackie. That's a lovely long arrow. That's Maria. Those legs are glued together. Get the inner thighs working. You really don't have to lift too high. You want to think long and lean. Two more. Breathing out, keeping the shoulders relaxed, tummy's engaged. Last one. And then take the top leg, cross it over, and we'll focus on the underneath inner thigh. So we're going to squeeze the inner thigh, lifting that underneath leg up and down. Depending how comfortable or not this is, you can try coming up onto your forearm as a different way of moving. You get slightly more restricted movement through the leg, but it might be more comfy depending on how you're feeling. That's it. Breathing out. Jeanette, as you're up on your forearm, think heart reaching forward, so you've got a lovely diagonal line and lifting up through the underneath waist. Jackie, just because I said Jeanette was doing something doesn't mean to say you have to do it too. That's it, lovely, everyone. Good. It's quite nice, powerful, this one. Oh, 2 more. And then extend both legs on top of each other, turn the toes over so you're standing like Charlie Chaplin on your side. And again, you can either stay up or stay lying down. We will do our développé. So if we're up, we want the front of our bodies thinking nice and long diagonal line. Draw the toe up to the knee, put the heel down, bring the knee into the chest, extend the leg, flex the foot, and squeeze the inner thigh back down again. So draw the foot up, heel down, knee in, extend, flex, and down. That's it, all the time, fighting that sinking feeling if you're up on your arm. I'm not watching because everybody does this so beautifully. Puts me to shame. I find this really hard. Oh. And as the leg comes down, think really lengthening away. 1 more. And extend it down. Wonderful. Okay, what am I doing next? Yeah, bend the knees up. And again, depending whether you want to work through the body, stay down. So knees, feet in line with the middle of your bum, and we will shell. So again, if you're up on your forearm, chest forward and long, and then breathing out, just opening the knee to the ceiling and closing down. And yeah, I like to have a finger around the bottom area because that will stop me rocking backwards and rolling. And it gives me a little bit of feedback. And sometimes, as with all, everything, just a little touch will get the right muscles working. And we're targeting our glute medius and minimus here, so deep in the hip. Good. Breathing out to open. Breathing in to close. Again, 2 more. Breathing out to open. Breathing in to close. Final one. And from here, let's try a little side lift. So cross the top leg over the underneath leg. Extend the legs away a little bit. And we'll stay on our forearms. So from here, breathing out, think drawing up through the underneath waist to lift the body away from the mat. Little breath in and then coming back down. So we're not sinking into our shoulders. We're thinking up and long. So if it's too much, don't do it. Just add a little bit of a challenge for those who want to. All right, we'll stop there because nobody's looking very happy today. Coming onto your fronts, we will do 1, maybe 2 planks. That's it, I'll turn around so I can see you. So starting on your hands and knees, just extend one leg back, then extend the other leg back. And we'll hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees down. Turn around, so you're going to work the other way. Back on our sides, but we're going to work backwards. So we will do those side planks because we've done them on the other side. So crossing the top leg over the underneath leg, angling the body, pressing your forearm into the mat, breathing out, drawing up through the underneath waist. So you want some nice width through the shoulders, that's it. And then breathing in to come down. 2 more. Breathing out, take all your intention and focus to your waist. To take the tension out of the shoulder area. And back down. 1 more. Good. Breathing out. That's it. Lovely. That's it. And down. Okay. Then legs stacked on top of each other, bending the knees up so the heels are in line with the bum. Again, either lying down or staying on your forearm for our shell. So breathing out to open, breathing in to close. That's it. Good. So whatever version you're doing, shoulders nice and relaxed. Stopping at the point that you feel your body is rolling back, just opening and closing the knee. Looking very nice. Three more. Two. Final one. And then extending the legs away, turning the toes out to our little Charlie Chaplin. And we develop a, so drawing the toe up, heel down, knee in, extend, flex, and squeeze down. Again, we're on the forearms, having to fight, sinking into the waist. Ooh, that doesn't do any good, does it? Right. So definitely do as I do, say even, not as I do. So you can see how hard this one is for me. My balance is shot this morning. Good. 2 more. Put down, knee in, extend, flex, down. Final time. Oh. Getting that length through the leg. Wonderful. Ooh. And then, cross the top leg over. So again, you can lie down or stay up, whichever works. Thinking about the inner thigh, thinking about the body, long, squeezing up and lowering. So nice, slow and controlled. So again, the legs shouldn't be going behind you. So you want to make sure you can see the underneath leg through the corner of your eye, because your body shouldn't be twisting round. It should be in line with the hips. That's it. Good. It's getting tiring on your shoulder. Think about drawing up through the underneath waist, those of you that are sitting upwards. 2 more. And thinking long through that underneath leg as well. Good. And then extend both arms and leg, or the arm and leg for our double leg lift. Again, find that balance point. It's on the uncomfortable bit of my hip, obviously. And then breathing out, lift. Breathing into lower. Thinking about the underneath waist, lifting up away from the mat. Lowering back down. That's it. Jackie, you don't need to lift your head so high. Just think hovering, crown of the head towards the sofa. That's it, that's good. Good, breathing out to lift. Breathing in to lower. Two more. Final time. Wonderful. Then roll back onto your backs. Hug your knees in. Just find a comfy position. And just give your hips a little bit of a stir because they've worked quite hard. Right there. And then I want you to think about drawing the lower back into the mat again. Ribs are down, then lifting one leg into tabletop, then the other. Keeping the lower back imprinted into the mat. Just take those knees slightly further away from you, so you're having to work to keep them in that position. And we will toe tap. So squeezing the bottom to take the leg down and then coming back up. So you're not changing the leg position, you're squeezing the bum and using the back of the leg to work. And all the time you're having to think, drawing through the abdominals to keep your back imprinted into the mat. Shoulders nice and relaxed. So it looks easy, but I'm certainly working very hard. And use your breath, breathing in to tap down, breathing out to come back to the start. And again, trying to suck as much of the front of your body in towards your spine as you can to keep your back safe. Elaine, if you don't mind, just bringing your knees slightly in towards your body a little bit more. Yeah, start from there and then think squeezing the bum to take the whole leg down rather than just tapping the foot. That's it. Good. Couple more. And then hug your knees in, have a little breather. Then I'd like you to take your legs away from you again, toes together, so you're in a little bit of a diamond shape, hands behind your head. We're going to add on a curl up, so keep it small. We're going to breathe out, curl forward, tap those feet down, breathe in to return. So breathing out, forward. Don't pull in your neck. Keep your head heavy in your hands. And I want you to focus on the tummy, drawing through the body to the mat beyond. That's it. So it's like a little bit of a seesaw. Don't come up too far, Jackie. You don't need to shimmy from side to side. Just come up as far as you can without that point happening. And then if anyone wants a little bit of a challenge, just hug your knees in. What you can do, curling forward and stay up there. Just tapping down and back. Just for a few. So you're having to fight a little bit. Keep breathing. If there's any tension in the back, please just stop and hug your knees in. Really focus on the ribs sliding forward as you curl forward to avoid hurting your necks. One more. And then hug your knees in. Have a little rock from side to side. Breathe. Relax for 2 seconds. And then holding onto your shins, turning your body forward, keeping the chins nodded, extend the shins and legs away from you so you're in a little ball shape. Lift them up a bit higher and we will single leg stretch as we change nice and slowly. Really stretch one leg away, keeping the chins nodded, keeping the shoulders and elbows wide. Nice and slow. If you've got any clicking through the hips like I have, you just keep your legs high. And 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Then hug your knees in for a little breath, rock from side to side. And let's see if we can do the same thing, but with a little oblique twist. So we'll do those same legs, hands behind the head, and you're just keeping up, curling from one side to the other. If you don't want to do that today, just feet down and a standard, very slow oblique twist. I will rely on you to choose which you want to do, depending on how you're feeling. That's it, good. So breathing out every time you change and rotate. Slow down, Jeanette. That's it. Keep things smooth, Maria. Don't be so violent. That's it, Elaine. Good. And 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Brilliant. Hug your knees in. And then place your feet down either side of the mat. We will stretch out a little bit. So drop one knee to the floor, second knee to the first leg's ankle, and just turn your body away. Nice little stretch. And then tummy button to spine to re-engage, to come back to the center and reverse the direction. And tummy button to spine, back to center. And then I think we will sit up. We'll continue our theme of our obliques and getting some rotation through the body. So we'll be sitting for a while. Jackie, if you want to come up onto a little bit of height, and you can release the hips by having some bend in the leg. Otherwise, if you want your full position, legs long, you're finding your sit bones, and we will start with our arms bent. And they stay on the same level. We're going to breathe in and do 3 little pulses, and then back to the start. Pulse, 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 and back. If that's feeling all right, when you come back to the center and you think spiraling up to the ceiling, you can extend the arms out to the side and just lead and pulse with one bent arm each way. So again, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. You're having to draw the tummy into the body to keep your back as straight as you can, and you're imagining spiraling up to the ceiling. That's it. Lovely, everyone. Whatever version you're doing, the legs should stay still, so you're just moving from the ribs upwards. One more. And then center, give everything a little bit of a shake and bend the knees up slightly. And we'll take the arms forward and we'll spine stretch. Oh, cramp. So we think tummy drawing into the body to get arch in the lower back, reaching forward, the arms stay on the same level, head aims between the arms, and then sitting up. So it's that someone's got their arms around your waist, pulling that away. You're trying to reach forward, so you get a lovely stretch up the back. And then sitting tall again. So yeah, it really depends what's most comfortable for you, bent legs or straight. But I want to feel that lovely stretch as you reach forward. Good. One more. And then take the legs nice and wide. This time, if you can, legs nice and straight. Again, you might need to get some bottom out of the way so you can feel your sit bones. Arms out to the side, nice and strong and long. Breathing in to rotate. Breathing out that same feeling you were getting just now through that spine stretch as you reach forward for your little toe. Restack the spine and then center. So breathing in to rotate, keeping both bum cheeks down. You might feel a lot of shaking going on through your legs. Breathing in to rotate, breathing out to reach into that little saw. Breathing in to restack, breathing out to center. That's it. Lovely. Keeping the bum down as you reach forward, so you might not go very far, and you can use the back hand to press forward if it helps. Your choice. That's it. Lovely, Elaine. Good. That's it, Maria. Lovely, Jeanette. That's it, Jackie. Good, good. One more to each side, or balance yourselves up. And then definitely just sit back, give the legs a little bit of a wiggle when you've done your last one. Excuse me. And then we have our final challenge really of class. Let us have long legs. We will do some roll backs and yeah, roll up if you fancy. So we're going to row, making nice little fists, sitting as tall and straight as you can. You're going to hinge, bend the elbows, then start to slide the back away from you so your tailbone goes away, and then row forwards. Coming up, sitting nice and tall in between, sending the tailbone away from you so you're aiming the back to the floor, and then reaching forward. So go as low as you can, come back up again. Even if it's just a little way to hold, you've got to use your abdominals to keep you nice and strong. And again, breathing out to curl back and reaching forwards. Good. One more of these. Breathing out. And coming forwards. Extra challenge. We're going to turn the palms up to the ceiling. So if you know you're not going to be able to come back up today, when you get back to the mat, roll over onto your side and come back to sitting. We're going to bring the hands up to the towards the face as we roll back. We're going to keep rolling back to the floor and immediately turn the arms over. So you're reaching for the ceiling to come up, reaching forward, arms come behind you, back out to the side, ready to go again. So you're bringing the palms towards your face as you roll down to the mat. Turn them over and reach the fingers for the ceiling. And you're reaching towards your toes as you bend forward. Swim with the arms behind you and coming back again. Ready to sit up nice and tall, sliding back down. That's it, turn the arms over, reaching forward. Lovely, bending forward. Good, everyone, then arms come behind you. Nice swimming motion. Ready to go back down again. Make this your last one. Beautiful, lovely. Reaching forward, tummy button to spine. Good, yes. That's it, one final swim with the arms. Coming forward. Wonderful, that's brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, okay, let's lie down. And we will bridge. So find, excuse me, very froggy, feet nice and heavy, hip width apart, arms on the mat, breathing out, think narrowing in, bum cheek to bum cheek, lifting up again, lovely long line, just to hold it there as you breathe in. And then imagine a karate chop towards the pelvis so you come down in one movement, so you're not rolling like the pelvic tilts. And the more you squeeze your bottom, get the hamstrings working, better. One long line, one chop down, that's it. So breathing out to lift. Think lengthening away, so knees are going towards the toes. And then coming back down again. Good. And again, breathing out to lift. Breathing into low. If you find any cramp through your legs, just bring them in slightly closer to your body. Good work. Two more. We will simply stay at this level today. Final time. And then roll over onto your sides and then onto your hands and knees. And we will wind down. I'm sure you'll be delighted to hear. So find your nice quadruped position. Shoulders above the wrist, hip above the knee. Have a look to where your feet are and make sure if you can that they're in line with those knees. And we will do some shoulder work here to start with. If your wrists are happy enough, simply get the back of your scapula, the big shoulder blades, to try and kiss towards each other and then wrap them round. So you're almost doing a little push-up, but your arms aren't moving or the elbows aren't bending. It's just all coming from the back of the shoulders in and out. So it's our retraction as the shoulder blades close towards each other and protraction as they reach around the body, getting some lovely movement. If you feel any cramping in your toes, you can just move your feet so your toes are touching the mat. One more. And again, if you need to release the wrists at any point, just sit back, give them a little twiddle. And from here, we will extend one arm and leg along the mat into our dog. So you can either stay with everything on the floor, keeping the abs engaged, making sure the back doesn't move, and then just lifting if you're comfortable. And trying to get that change over as smooth as possible without rocking. That's lovely. Very good. Couple more. That's it, Elaine. Good. We will then move on to our cat and our cow to get a bit of extension. So we'll tuck the tailbone under, curling up through the spine until the head is the last thing that has to drop between the shoulder blades. Breath into hold, and then unpeel from the tailbone. And do come back into a nice long line, crown of the head reaching away. One more of those, tucking under, curling up. Breath in at that point where you're arched like a cat, and then breathing out, send the tailbone back to neutral, softening the lower back, middle back, upper back, and the head lifts. And then let's imagine someone's pushing between our shoulder blades. So we arch our heart forward and up, keeping the chin nodded. So you're not putting any strain on the back of the neck. And then come back to that nice flat back position. And again, someone's pressing in the top of your back to lift the heart forward, keeping the chin nodded. And then coming back. If you're okay on your wrists, just carry on. If not, give them a little shake or come onto your forearms. And we'll take one arm out to the side and then thread it through. So again, you get a lovely bit of rotation. Breath in at that point. Breathing out. Extend out to the side. And we'll straight away change arms and go to the other side. So trying to keep the hips as level as you can. Just getting that upper body twisting a little bit. Out to the side, one more to each side. So you unwind from the class, using your breath, breathing out as you reach, breathing in to draw everything back and change sides. Lovely. And after this last one, we will finish with our little side bend mermaid. So find a position, hopefully that's maintainable. Bent front leg, bent back leg, arms out to the side. And simply find the floor and then bend an elbow and reach the top arm up and over the head, so you then get a beautiful stretch down that side of the body. Tummy button to spine as you press into the hand on the floor to sit up nice and tall. And we'll do one more. So send the underneath arm as far away as you can control. Top arm up overhead. We're still imagining we're stretching between two panes of glass, so there shouldn't be any rotation. Tummy button to spine, and then simply change sides. Get yourself positioned nicely, arms out, and then reaching to the floor, bending the elbow, and then reaching up and over. Tummy button to spine, breathing out to come back to sitting. And final time. That's it. Lovely. Brilliant. Well done.